Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Times Up Ummah. Today's first news update is coming from United States, where the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to visit Israel and the occupied West Bank. The news came just days after ceasefire reached between Israel and Palestine. The sources said the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken would visit Israel as well as Palestinian Authority leaders and the West Bank on Wednesday and Thursday. Although the State Department yet not released any details, but sources said Blinken will also visit Egypt and Jordan. Dear viewers, the visit comes days after Egypt helped broker a ceasefire to end Israeli attacks on Gaza that killed at least 248 Palestinians and the besieged coastal territory, injured nearly 2,000 other and destroyed buildings and critical infrastructure. Dear viewers, the visit comes in a time when 12 Israeli and 248 Palestinians have been killed in the 11 days long war. Dear viewers, President Joe Biden's administration had faced widespread pressure including from progressive legislators and Biden's Democratic Party to pressure Israel to end its military assault on Gaza. Although Joe Biden held the ceasefire, but Biden fully supported Israeli bombardment. But after he got worldwide criticism, he changed his stance and called on Israel to cease fire. There was the spokesman of State Department Ned Price has said Blinken will meet with Israeli, Palestinian, and regional counterparts in the coming days to discuss recovery efforts and working together to build a better future for Israelis and Palestinians. But the United States always tried to bring new wars to Middle East, whether it is Iraq or Syria. We hope this time it will perform well. Since coming into office in January, Biden and his top officials have sought to deprioritize the Israeli-Palestinian issue amid a string of other foreign policy priorities, including the withdrawal of United States troops from Afghanistan and efforts to rejoin the Iran nuclear deal. Dear viewers, critics have questioned the Biden administration's approach to the conflict, urging the United States president to publicly pressure Israel, which receives nearly $4 billion in the United States military aid annually. Progressive lawmakers are also pushing to cancel a $375 million weapons sales to Israel, arguing last week that the United States should not arming the Israeli military as it dropped bombs on Palestinians and Gaza. Dear viewers, as of now, ceasefire have been welcomed by several powers, but no one can guarantee how much will it last, because there is a lot of pressure on Netanyahu in Israel that why you managed to cease fire despite world top air force and world top intelligence. Dear viewers, the United States was fully supporting the Israelis' assaults and was to provide weapons, but with the great diplomacy of Pakistan and Turkey, the ceasefire healed. Today's second news update is coming from Afghanistan, where Taliban have took control of Jalrez district after brutal clashes between Kabul security forces and the Taliban. The Taliban took full control after 5 days of siege. Sharifullah Hotak, a member of the provincial council, told the Taliban captured the Jalrez district at around 9 a.m. The district police chief has surrendered by the Taliban along with 35 security forces, and the district administrative compound has completely fallen to the Taliban. The Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid has said the group has seized district administration compound as well as the police headquarters by inflicting heavy casualties on the government forces. Dear viewers, this is the third district that Taliban took full control within a month. But the most thrilling news for you is the Jalrez district is just 60 kilometers away from Kabul, and it is so bad news for Afghan security forces because within a month Taliban took control of 3 districts and defeated Afghan security forces badly. And the United States officials have expressed some concerns over the United States military equipment could end up at the hands of Taliban fighters and terrorist groups as American troops withdraw thousands of vehicles, weapons, and other military items from Afghanistan in coming months. Brigadier General Matthew said, "We will be transferring facilities, some vehicles, and other equipment that Afghan National Defense Forces can utilize in their ongoing efforts to secure the country." He added, "We will be retrograding equipment that we are able to bring back to bases and stations in the continental United States as well as elsewhere, and then we will disposing of equipment that essentially is either absolute, inoperable, or legally we are not able to transfer to Afghanistan." According to a new report, as of 2014, when there were about 10,000 United States troops stationed in Afghanistan, American military forces boasted about $36 billion worth of equipment in the country. When President Joe Biden announced plan for the full withdrawal of the troops in May, about 25 500 troops were stationed there. Dear viewers, Afghan government facing a deadly time and no one can say what will happen ahead because even the Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has said, I am just one bullet away from my death. Dear viewers, the United States has shown big betrayal which the Afghan government will never forget. Dear viewers, this big news update has proven that Taliban can take control of Kabul within months after United States forces pull out from Afghanistan. Today's third news update is coming from Palestine, where Israel has still continued its mobility, and according to the Islamic Authority overseeing the site, dozens of Jewish settlers flanked by heavily armed Israeli special forces entered the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound and occupied East Jerusalem in the early morning. Further rising tensions hours after Palestinian worshippers were beaten and assaulted by Israeli police. A Palestinian news agency has said Israeli police had earlier on Sunday assaulted Palestinian worshippers who were performing dawn prayers at the mosque and excessively beat them in order to make way for Israeli Jewish settlers to storm the compound, Islam's third holiest site. And Israeli police have also arrested 6 Palestinians from there. Their viewers, Israeli police also increased restrictions at the gates leading to Al-Aqsa, barring worshippers under the age of 45 from entering the mosque. And on the other side, in Sheikh Jarrah, the Palestinians who are living there has said they have been placed under a siege by Israeli authorities. And the Israeli authorities have been preventing non-residents from entering the neighborhood. Their viewers, Palestinian residents have limited their movements and are mostly staying at home. Since if they leave the neighborhood, Israeli authorities sometimes will not allow them to return, claiming they have orders it is a military zone. A local resident from Sheikh Jarrah said settlers are allowed to move freely. They move in groups of 20 to 25 together and armed. We don't sleep at night because we are concerned about what these extremists might be doing. Dear viewers, as I have told you that Israel's intentions are not looking so good, and maybe it will do something, but no one can say anything about it. Dear viewers, Askapi, who is from one of the Palestinian families facing expulsion and waiting for a final decision from the court, he said on Sunday night, police locked the families in their houses for a whole night until the next evening. They put 3 to 4 soldiers at the doors of each of our houses to keep us locked in. Whenever we tried to get out, they said to us, you stay inside or we will beat you. Dear viewers, the Sheikh Jarrah is the reason which triggered the 11 days war because Israeli settlers were intensified their attacks on Palestinians, and the Palestinians after come to protests and Israeli police beat them so badly, for which Hamas warned them, but they still did not stop and the deadly war then erupted. Dear viewers, if you want to watch top 3 news of the day, please subscribe Times of Ummah.